Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope that everyone is doing good. This is the fourth session of 6th online class of maths, and today we are going to start unit 3 variations. This is one of the easiest and interesting topics of your book. I hope that you will learn it with full interest. Let's begin with the first topic of the unit, ratio and proportion. Ratio. A relation between two quantities is called ratio, or comparison between two quantities that are measured in same units. Let's better understand the concept with the help of an example. In a small business, 40 of the employees are men and 30 of the employees are women. What is the ratio of men to women? Let's see that ratio of men to women is 40 to 30. If we write this ratio in simplest form, so you can write 4 to 3. It means the ratio of male employees are more than women employees. We can write the ratio in different forms, like we can write the symbol for ratio, or we can write the ratio in fraction form as well. We have another example for ratio. You can see here the red circles and green circles. So the number of red circles to number of green circles are 1 ratio 2. We can establish, or we can go with a comparison between red circles and green circles as 1 ratio 2 and 1 ratio 3. The total number of circles here are 3. So here, therefore in denominator we can see 3 here. Next is proportion. A proportion is a statement which is expressed as an equivalence of two ratios, or in simple words we can say that a proportion is an equality of two ratios. When we put two ratios equal to each other, then it is said to be proportion, like A ratio B is equal to C ratio D. Let's better understand the concept with some examples. As we can see here, two quantities, car and wheels, the ratio between car and wheels. As we can say that ratio is a relation between two quantities, so there exists a relation between car and wheels, that one car has 4 wheels. If we increase the number of cars, so the number of wheels will also get increased, like 2 cars 4 wheels, 3 cars and 4 wheels. This ratio is already in simplified form, but these ratios need simplification for better comparison. So 2 1 is 2, 2 4s are 8, 3 1 is 3, 3 4s are 12. As a result, you can see that all these ratios are equal. So when the ratios are equal, that is known proportion. Here we can see that means 4 bananas and 8 another fruit, 6 bananas and 12 another fruit. So we can see that again the ratios are equal, so it is said to be proportion then. For concept of ratio, you must remember few points, that the order of elements in a ratio is important. Like if you write wheels here first and cars later, so then it will not give you the correct result. So therefore the order of elements in a ratio is important. In a ratio A ratio B, the first term A is called antecedent, whereas the second term is called consequent. Moreover, a ratio has no units. Why? Because the ratio is just used for comparison or for showing the relation between quantities. So therefore, it has no units. Let's start exercise 3.1, and question number 1 states that express the following as a ratio A ratio B and as a fraction, and it is simplest form. We are going some quantities are given, we are going to establish the ratio between them. Moreover, we are going to write this in fraction form, and we have to convert this in it is simplest form. So here we can see that both the quantities are measured in same units, so means both of them are measured in rupees, so no need of any conversion here. So we can see here that 750 and 1250, both of them are divisible by 10, so therefore we'll divide it by 10. Again we will have 75 and 125, both of them are divisible by 5, so we will go with division here, and as a result we will get 3 ratio 5. We can write this in fraction form as well here. Okay, next part is 450 centimeter and 3 meter. Here let me tell you something, that for a ratio the quantities must be measured in same units for comparison. If the units will be different, so the comparison will not be accurate then. So here you can see that one quantity is measured in centimeter, whereas the other quantity is measured in meter. So you are going to make the units same. One thing I want to add here, that this big quantity should be big unit should be converted into small units, because if you convert big units in small units, so you have to go with multiplication process, then you will have the big numbers here and it will be easy for simplification. But if you convert the small units into big units, so then you have to go with division process, then there will appear decimal, so simplification will be difficult for you. So you can see here that here is the big unit. You have to convert this, means meter should be converted into small unit centimeter. Here in every 1 meter we know that 100 centimeter is, so then in 3 meter there will be 300 centimeter. So instead of 3 meter we will write 300 centimeter. Both of these quantities are divisible by 10, so we'll go with division by 10. Here we will divide 45 and 30 with 5, so we'll get 5 9s 45 and 5 6 are 3 here, then 9 and 6 are divisible by 3, so we'll get as a result 3:2. Next is 4 kg, 4 kilograms and 2 kilograms 750 grams. As we know that in every kilogram we have 1 kilogram we have 1000 grams. So in 4 kilograms we will have 4000 grams. Moreover, here is also 2 kilograms, so in 2 kilograms we will have 2000 grams plus 750 grams more we have to add, so it will be 2750 grams. So here we are going to divide it by 10, and again we will divide it by 5, because 400 and 275 are divisible by 5. We will get 80:55, and again these two quantities are divisible by 5. As a result we will get 16:11. Next part is 27 minutes and 30 seconds, and next quantity is 1 hour. As we know that the small unit is here seconds, so we are going to convert big units into small units. So in every minute we will have 60 seconds. So in 7 minutes we will have 60 seconds plus 30 seconds more we have. In 1 hour we have 60 minutes, and every 60 minutes we have 60 seconds. So when we will multiply 27 with 60, then 830 on 8 you can use calculator here. So we will get 1650, and we will multiply 60 with 60, so we'll get 3600. Both of them are divisible by 10, so we'll go with division here, and as a result we'll get 32:72. These quantities are divisible by, or these values are divisible by 3. So 3 11s are 33, and 3 2s are 6, and 3 4s are 12. So 11:24 is the simplest form of these quantities. Question number 2 states that in a class of 60 students, 25 students are girls and remaining students are boys. Compute the ratio of boys to students and boys to girls. We have total number of students 60, whereas 25 are girl students, and we are supposed to find the number of boy students because the remaining students are boy students. So 60 minus 25 will be 35. Moreover, we are going to compute the ratio of boys to students. So boys to students, number of boys are 35. So here instead of 2 you just rectify it, put it 3. So 5 7s are 35 and 5 12s are 60. So the number of boys to students are so the ratio of boys to students will be 7:12. Then we have to find the ratio of boys to girls. The 35 is the number of boy students and 25 is the number of girl students. Both of them are divisible by 5. So here we will go with division, and we will get 7:5 here. Next part is question number 3. If 3 into 4x minus 5y equal 2x minus 7y, then we are supposed to find the ratio xy. Here if we will simplify this equation, so we'll get the ratio of xy. So let's go with simplification of this. 3 4s are 12 and 3 5s are 15. Here we can bring the like terms at one side of the equation, so 2x minus 2x and minus 15y, so it will get with positive sign there. 12x minus 2x will result in 10x, and 15y minus 7y will be 8y. So we will have, now here you can see that we need x ratio y, so therefore y is being multiplied here. You are going to bring it to this side of the equation and it will be in division form. Similarly 10 is being multiplied here, so it will go in division form here. Then okay, here we can say that 2 5s are 10 and 2 4s are 8. So here rectify the mistake and you can write 4 here. So the ratio of x, as you can write the ratio in fraction form and in this form as well. So x ratio y will be 4 ratio 5 here. Find the value of p if the ratio 2p plus 5 and 3p plus 4 and 3 ratio 4 are equal. We are supposed to find the unknown value here, given that these two ratios are equal. So we can write this ratio here, and since they are equal, so we can put equal sign in between. And for finding the value of p, it will be better if you write the ratio in fraction form, like 2p plus 5 and this ratio, then fraction line, then 3p plus 4, then equal sign, then 3 divided by 4. Here you can see that 3p is being divided here at their side, it will get multiplied, and 4 here as it is, 4 is being divided here with 2p plus 5, it will get multiplied. 3 3s are 9, 4 3s are 12, 4 2s are 8p, 5 4s are 20. Like term should be brought to this side, one side of the equation, like 9p minus 8p will be just 1p, and 20 minus 12 will result in 8. So the value of p will be 8. Next question is, two numbers are in the ratio 5 ratio 8. If 9 is added to each number, this is a little bit conceptual question, so I want your full attention. We get a new ratio 8 ratio 11. Find the numbers. Here the ratio is given and we are going to find out the numbers. Means we have to go with the reverse step. Mostly the numbers are given most of the time and we are supposed to find the ratio. Here the ratio is given and we are supposed to find the number. So let the required number be 5x and 8x. So here is here you are supposed to think for a while that y means x and x with this ratio. Like let me explain it for you. Like suppose the number is 15 and 24. So when we just establish the ratio between this, both of them are divisible by, we can say that 3. So we can say that 3 5s are 15 and 3 8 are 15. So what ratio we got? 5 ratio 8 by dividing this number by 3. So it means if you want to get the number back, so we have to go again with multiplication, because the division, the inverse of division is what? Multiplication. So here again if you multiply the number with 3, so you will get 5 3s are 15, 8 3s are 24. So here what is missing? This 3 is missing, means this number is missing. So therefore 5x and 8x, we are going to find this number, then we will get the original number. So therefore let the number be 5x and 8x. What we have to do then? If 9 is added to each number, means if we will add 9 to each of these numbers, 9 and 9 each of these number, then we get a new ratio. Then the ratio will be different, of course, because you are adding something. So the ratio will be 8 and 11. I am writing this in fraction form for further simplification. Here 8x plus 9 is being divided, it will get multiplied with 8. Here 11 is being divided, so it will get multiplied with 5x plus 9. 8 8 are 64, 8 9 are 72, 11 5s are 55, 11 9s are 99, 64x minus 55x and 99 minus 72. So here we will have the value of x as 3, because when 9 will be shifted to that side of the equation, we will get 9 3s are 27. Now that number is by which we have to multiply the ratio is 3. Don't say that the number is 3. That number is 3. That by if you multiply this number with ratio, with the given ratio, so we'll get that number back, because we don't know that by what it has been divided. Fine. So therefore we have to find it. So here when we'll put this, so we'll get 15 and 24. When you will verify this, see 15 and 24, so again you will get 5 and 8 in ratio. Find the cost of 8 kg of mangoes if 5 kg mangoes cost rupees 250. Okay, we are supposed to find the cost of 8 kg of mangoes if 5 kilograms mangoes cost rupees 250. This question can be solved by different methods, like if you find the cost of 1 kg, so like if you divide 250 by 5, so 550 will be the cost of 1 kg of mango. So 8 kg will be how much? 8 if you multiply it with 50, so 400 kg. But since we are doing 400 rupees, sorry, but since we are doing the concept of means we are learning the concept of ratio and proportion, so this question is better to be solved with the help of ratio and proportion. So you can have the ratio between the quantities like kg and kg and rupees, or you can say that cost of kg, then cost and kg. Why? Here you can see that if find the cost x and 8 kg, then 5 kg and cost is 250. Fine. So it should be written like this, that x kg cost, sorry, 8 kg cost unknown, means we don't know the answer, and 5 kg cost 250. Here it should be written like this, if 8 kg, so here should be x should be written first, then 5 kg second, so again 250 is connected with 5, so 250 will be written. If you will write 250 first and x later, so it will be wrong then. Now how it can be solved? You can write this in fraction form, or you can for solution, or you can write this another method. You can use here that product of extremes and product of means. Extremes means the first and the last value, and means mean the middle values. So whether you write this in fraction form for simplification, or you apply this method, both of them are correct. So 8 kg with 250 and 5 kg with x. So product of extremes and product of means. When you multiply these two quantities, you will get 2000, and here is 5x. In order to find the value of x, 5 should be brought to this side of equation, and it will get divided here. So the value of 8 kg of mangoes will be 400 rupees. It means that 8 kg mangoes cost rupees 400. Next question is that if A ratio B is equal to 7 ratio 6, then find the value of this ratio. Since the two ratios are equal, these two ratios are equal, so we can say that the value of A can be 7 and the value of B can be 6. So we can write this ratio, and we just put the value of A 7, value of B 6, value of B 6 and value of A 7, and then we can find the value of this ratio. This is easy question. Then question number 10 is complete the following. Here you have 24 divided by 7 and minus 6 upon x. You are going to find the value of 4x. Okay, here you can see that x is being multiplied, so it will get being divided, so it will get multiplied with this. 7 is being divided, so it will get multiplied with 6. Here now you have to factorize 24 because you need 4 here. So 6 4s are 24, so you will get 4 here. And just 6 is being multiplied, this side it will get divided, so you will have the value of 4x as equal to 7. Next is that you have to find the value of ay here. Now again go with the same procedure, that y should be multiplied here and 3x should be multiplied with 15b. You can go with cross multiplication. Now you need the value of ay, so 5 should be brought to this side of the equation, and it will get divided. 5 1 is 5, 5 3s are 15, so 3 3s are 9bx will be the value of ay. Next question is, here you can see, and you are supposed to find the value of 5q. Now let's see that cross multiplication, 5m with 9pq and 2l with 18p. Now you just see that you need 5q. So 5 and q should be written side by side, and 9p and m should be written here. Then 12m and 18p are brought as it is. Now you need the value of 5k, so 9pm should be shifted to this side of equation, and it will be in division form here. So you can see here that m with m will get cancelled, p with p will get cancelled, and 9 1 is 9 and 9 2s are 18. So what is left? 2 into 2L is left here. So when you multiply, you will get the value of 5Q. Next is find X in the given proportion. Question number 11, the last question. You are going to find the unknown value. This is one of the usage of or importance of concepts of proportion, that you can find the unknown values using proportions. So here you have the proportions, and you know that proportion means that when two ratios are equal, so you can convert the proportion sign in equality sign. Okay, I told you that you can write this in fraction form, and then you can go with a solution, or if you apply this method, product of extremes and product of mean, that is also fine. Extreme means the first and the last values, and the means mean the middle values. So 3x minus 2 will be with 7, and 4 will be with 2x plus 3. Okay, let's go with multiplication. You will get 13x with 26. When 13 will be shifted to that side of the equation, you will get the value of x as 2. Next question is question number 11, the third part of the same question. Again, we have to go with the product of extremes and product of means here. So this is the product of extreme, and this is the product of means here. You can cancel 2, 1 is 2, and 2 2s are 4 here. So you will get as a result 2x minus 3. This is x plus 4, and x minus 1 and x minus 1 will get cancelled, and you will get 5 upon 3. Now again you can go here with simplification of round bracket. 2 with x, 2x, and 2 3s are 6 here. 3 is being divided, so you can go with cross multiplication. Here 3 will be multiplied, and x plus 4 will be multiplied with 5 here, and you will have the value of x as equal to 38. Next step is again the same, that 3 2s are 6, 3 6 are 18, 5x and 5 4s are 20. Like terms should be brought to one side of the equation and constant term to other side of the equation. Then you will have the value of unknown value. Next question, this is the last part of question number 11, fourth part. Okay, second last part. Here you have p square plus pq plus q square, and you have the next values here. Let's go with the product of extremes and product of means. Okay, here it doesn't matter if you write product of means first or product of extremes first, then there will be no any effect in the ratio or proportion. Okay, here it's written product of means first, so means we can know the middle value x, and this one, this expression is written. Why product of mean is written first here? Because we want the value x to this side of the equation, unknown value. Then this will be the product of extremes here. Okay, as you want to find the value of x, so x should be kept alone here, and you are going to shift these values which are not required with x. As you know that p plus q is being divided here, so here it will get multiplied, it will come in numerator, whereas p cube minus q cube is in numerator, so it will be in denominator. Here it is done directly. As for simplification, we have to apply the formula for further cancellation. As you know that a minus b, okay, a minus b, here you have to rectify it, and you have to write here that is plus sign, okay, in the formula. Okay, a minus b cube, you know that a minus b, a square plus ab, and this is plus sign plus b square here. So again, if you want to expand this, so you can write, if it's p minus q, so in the first bracket it will come p minus q. Then since it is cube, so p square here, 1 and 2, so it will be 3p square. Then in between will be pq, then q square. When you will multiply these two brackets, again you will get the same answer. Make sure that if this is minus, so all the bracket will be plus in the next one. So here we will p minus q, this will get cancelled and this will get cancelled, and we have p minus q and p. Here you can see that p minus q is written 2 times, have the power square, so it can be written 2 times. P minus q and p plus q means a minus b, a plus b, so we can write this in p square minus q square by multiplication or by applying the formula. So here we are done with exercise 3.1, and next class inshallah we will discuss exercise 3.2.